Hey, so I wanted to run through this video for you. The coronavirus hit and I was getting stir crazy. So I got to thinking and I've decided to take on a little bit of a project. So within the Mustang, I'm going to go through the trunk, and I came up with a little bit of a project to clean it up, you know, add a little bit of my taste to it. And I'm going to walk you through it. I got a step-by-step video that I'm going to run you through, and hopefully you enjoy it. I put a lot of thought into it, spent a lot of time working on it instead of just doing nothing during the coronavirus. Now, what I will tell you is I'm through part 1 of building this thing, and there's still some little things that I want to accomplish, and it's always, you know, it's always tinkering on it, right? But hopefully you enjoy it. I'm gonna go ahead and go through this thing step by step. Hope you enjoy it. All right, so let's take a look, see how it starts. Get that crap out of here. All right, so this is what it looks like to start. It's all dynamited down here on the bottom. It's cleaned up. You know, and back here, it runs a little bit back here. So get this thing out of there too. So a couple things that we want to make sure we take a look at it during the build. It's right here. We've got, you know, the cap that goes to the air shocks. One of the things I'm thinking when I look through this is that this trap door opens and there's a space right here. So I'm trying to think of making like a fake floor. I'm not trying to get real super fancy in this thing. I've got this gas filler. Gonna have to figure out something nice about that. And then I've got the wiring. You know, we want to keep an eye out on the wiring as well. So here's what one of my thoughts was. So if I come inside here, inside these Fastbacks, got the wheel back here, but this is what I'm interested in. See how it's got this like piano type of hinge? And when it folds up, this part folds up. There's the seat down there. But then it folds in on itself, and then it folds a second time, and then it rests down there. Now the other thing too is this carpet is kind of this loop black carpet. And it's got this chrome kind of outline here. So what I was thinking about, you know, and then it's got the fiberglass sides here. It's kind of got a texture here. And then it's got the courtesy light here. So let's see if I can kind of emulate what I'm thinking back here. My thought was, what if we did the same kind of thought with the piano hinge running across here? But what if we made it so that there was this fake floor, but then had the same kind of deal where maybe I grabbed it and it folded this way, and then it'd fold a second time and come up. Same kind of deal. That way we still had the, you know, we almost have like a fake floor that we build up here a little bit. Run it level with this line here, going around this like, forget what it's called. Anyway, but, and then, so we can still store things down here, whether or not it's parts that we need, or when we're traveling, a jack or tools or whatever the case might be, but then have it in a way where it still has the fake floor. Build just sides here, maybe 3D print a cover over the light here. And then my thought was too, is painting, you know, this to match, and also right around the edges here, painting all this to really match what we've got up in the engine compartment. So if we come up here, if we look inside the engine compartment here, oops, hang on. Sorry about that. But if we look in here, the way that the engine compartment paint is right here, there's got a line where it goes black into the body color with it being yellow. And then there's stainless steel bolts. And then also on the hinge here, the hinge here is all black, coming up here, black bolts, but the deck lid, or the hood, is yellow. So my thought is, what if we did the same thing here, ran this all black, but then left the vertical side, the color of the car, to here. And then what happens if we were to run the line right across here of black, all this black, cover all this, all the hinges and everything, get that stuff all painted black here, leaving the deck on this one all yellow, and then obviously matching this and this with the same colors that we've got here on this hood piece and the mount down there. So I think that's the project that I'm looking at. I've got it drawn up and I'll see what I can do from the start to the build up. So keep in touch and we'll see how it goes. All right, so here it is. Just a quick mount inside here. So as you can see, what I found out was I'm trying to make it centered to the car, because when you look in here, you're gonna want this thing to be centered inside the car. But this thing is mounted off where the gas tank ends here, if you will. But if you look, it's off-centered. So what ends up happening is I mount this rests all the way down. But on this side, it's actually resting on the gas tank itself here. Anyway, then we run it up here towards the front. So we follow that curve there. And what we've got is we've got just enough coverage here. The idea is that we'll use probably about 1/2 inch of MDF. Then after we mount it with that loop carpet, the idea is that it'll slide right underneath here. It'll rest on the board that we've got up here. It's still gonna be able to fit underneath there, so we'll have a good look right at the chrome piece here. So then the idea is we're gonna have to build this thing out. I made a little mark here and made a mark here with the idea that it's about 1.5 inches because we end up hitting this knob. So we can't go all the way out here. We're gonna have to pull it back for when it starts to hinge up, where it's gonna start. So we're gonna have it hinge here, and then we'll have a second piece that'll hinge up, and then it should just rest here. And then we'll be able to still be able to access all of our stuff. We've got, you know, pretty good amount of space here. And these are fastbacks, you know what I mean? Sports cars. So we're not necessarily looking for a ton of space. So let's go ahead and get started with the mount over on the, so we're starting on the lid to the trunk with the hinges. We're gonna see how it turns out. All right, we're back. So we have the first set. Got the piano hinge there. So let's go ahead and see how this thing fits on. All right, so let's see. When do I get this down? So this is right where I'm talking about. So I gotta get this in just the right spot so that it'll fold up and not hit anything. That looks about as close as I can get. So I'm gonna need to measure, you know, where it is over there, where it is there, and then that will then give me the idea of where the next hinge is. Because this piece is too long, obviously, because it's landing here, and I'm gonna make it more set up here. That's kind of the idea. Got a hinge there. I'll be able to come in, grab this, fold it over, and then we'll have access to everything down there. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, checking out this next step of where we're at now. So I actually did kind of a flat black. I've got our aluminum strip just right in here for strength. And then when we come on this side, what I did was I start off, just got a bunch of different pieces here. Got some cardboard. Oh, that's just a scrap. But we just put some cardboard. And then what we did was we really tried tracing out, you know, where it is. Coming along the side here. Going along the side. We have it resting back here on this little lip. I don't think you guys can see it. The lighting's probably crap. But anyway, using this to get our basic shape along here. Then we've got a little 1/4 inch piece of plywood that we did. So we measured along the back there, along here. And we're gonna use that as kind of our template. And then from there, we're gonna be able to pull it out. I'm gonna figure out exactly how to break it down, because this doesn't actually come out of the Mustang all in one piece, because it goes all the way back and it goes all the way forward. It actually, it's going underneath this little chrome piece here. That's the whole goal, to have it slide right underneath there. So I got to figure out, you know, exactly how we're going to finish this thing off. And back here where the headlight, or where this tail light is, I'm trying to think of maybe having a piece coming up in this way and then having it turn or something along those lines, and then connect with this side piece. But the idea too is we'd run a courtesy light. It's the idea somewhere around here on both sides. All right, we'll keep on journaling this. All right. All right, it's been a little bit while since the last time I did a video. I've gotten some work done since, so I'm going to show you what we got at this point as we're making the progress through. All right, so I'm going to come on this side actually. Pardon the mess, but here's the box that we've done so far. So what we did was we created this like little hinge point. So you'll see how that kind of goes through. We're not quite finished with this. There'll be a little bit of a support going underneath this side. And we did kind of the first rough paint to see what it looked like. We're going to clean that up a little bit. And then we've got the hinges, if you will. We've got the hinge here. So this is our piano hinge, if you will, that's going to go together. And then what's really cool is we've got all these pieces here. So if we look at it, this actually was basically just aluminum. So here's a little piece of it, how it started. It's a U channel, 5/8 from one end to the other. But then the idea was we took it, we sanded it down, and then what we did was we took these buffing wheels. So we just grabbed these things, and then we used a little bit of the white rogue, is what they call it. It's basically just a block, if you will, that you hit on these little buffing wheels, and then it basically took the aluminum. So here's something that you can see right there. So this is right from the hardware store, basically. And here's where you can see where it's shiny. That's, I guess, where they get the term polished aluminum. Anyway, so here's basically them all lined up. Now what I'm going to do to show you guys, so let's turn this one over. So this is going to be the top. So this is just 1/2 inch MDF wood. And then the idea is that we're painting this side, and then one of these aluminum pieces are going to be attached here, and then you've got the side one. It's going to come along the side here, and then they meet up like this. And then it goes all the way around. And then what came in the mail today, let's take a look here, inside the box here. Here is the carpet, the black loop carpet. So we got about, geez, I would say 1/8 of an inch on that. So the idea here is that we're going to be putting the carpet down on this side. We're going to glue it down. We have it spray painted on this side, and then the aluminum foil, or the aluminum U channel here, goes right around. So a 1/2 inch with a 1/8 inch with the carpet, plus the 5/8 difference there, will hopefully then give us basically the same kind of look that we have in the back of the Mustang. So we're going to go ahead and get this stuff all put together, and on the next one, we'll be able to see how it looks. See you then. All right, and we're back. We've got the carpet now We're gonna be putting this thing on the opposite side of these. And then we're gonna move over and attach all of the polished aluminum pieces and even get that hinge attached as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get this stuff set up. Here we go. And voila. Let's take a look here. Get those out of the way. Got this thing done. Look at that. Got the black loop carpet onto the piano hinge there. Goes across. Look at those 45 degrees angles. What do you say? Should we give it a shot inside the Mustang? Let's check it out. And voila. Check it out. This is going to be the fake floor portion of it. Got a lot of fixings, so the fake floor is going to come here. It's going to rest on there. We got boards that we're going to set up in here. So we'll have the fake floor there. And then we've got all of this set up. Again, look at that. So what'll happen is, now let's do it from a comparison standpoint. So we open this thing up. If you look in here, check it out. There's the piano hinge there, the black loop carpet here, got the trim piece there. And if we lift this up, I know maybe it's a little hard to see there, but it's basically dark on the other side there. We'll put this thing down because the tire's back here for looks. But again, let's come on back here. Look at that. It's gonna match the inside. And then when we come in here, we're gonna grab a hold of there. Slides over, flips over, stops. Then we grab it here, and it folds back. Now you've got this whole area and what we can use for storage, for parts. But one of the things too that we have is for our air shocks set up right down here. We're going to be able to get to that if we need to fill it up. So again, coming out here, it's going to rotate down here. Then we come back around. It lays down here. Pulling it out there. There you go. We're going to have the side panel here. Going to have the courtesy light. And then what we'll do is we'll set it up on the switch here. Sorry about going all over the place. But we'll have this little door pin. We'll actually set it up so that once the trunk opens, boop, then you got the courtesy lights. We'll put one on this side, put one on that side. So what we're really going for is a look where we match the inside of the Mustang. We're going to transition it inside of the trunk as well, so that we're going to be able to have a very streamlined look. I am loving how this turned out. This is really cool. Look at that. The way it misses this right here. We'll have to come up with something so we can grab a hold, flips it over. Look at that. And on the inside here, man, it looks just like the inside. Rotates over. And then we got all that stuff. I mean, look at that. You can see how it's all polished up. You can see me filming right now. Looking good. All right, let's put it down one last time. I'd say that's a success for the test fit. One other thing too, I'll show you. I mean, the one thing is down here is when this comes and lands coming down, we've got these bolts that are holding on the polished aluminum, but it's rubbing right here, right here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get some of these little adhesive rubber clear things. I'll have to show them to you later on. But what we'll do is we'll apply them here. You know, maybe another one up there, maybe some, but they're clear so you can't see them. But the idea is that when it comes down, it's not going to rub off any of that paint. But man, if you step back, take a look at this thing, it's gonna come out sweet. I'm loving it. All right, stay tuned. All right, what's up? So I wanted to give you a little bit more of an update. Hey, first off, I wanted to show you, I was having some problems with how to make this sit flush when the panels sit right along here. I'll show you in just a second. So what I did here was, keeping the same theme though, but what I did was I added these cabinet hinges. So they actually open in more of a flush capacity. Did have to make a little bit of a mount. I don't know if you can see that, a little spacer here with a 3D printer. How about that? But now what happens is they fold right down. You can see it's going to sit super flush with those. So now, backing up, made some progress here. Here's the panels that we've made, and we've actually even carpeted the one part. So I'm going to show you how all this kind of goes together in just a second. But if I flip this thing over, I wanted to show you kind of the backside here. No, you can't really see it right now, but I actually flush mounted. Well, I rabbited a little bit here so that when we wrap the carpet over, it was actually able to sit flat and sit flush. So a couple of support stuff, and we're using magnets to hold them into place. A couple spots. All right, let's see how it looks going in. All right, so this piece, let's see, as it comes in. Oh, it looks gorgeous. Looks good. Perfect. This thing comes up. Oh yeah. Perfect. Looks good. It's great. Lines up just right. Nice. But what we're gonna do, I need to trim up a little bit here on the bottom. Didn't know how much the carpet was gonna be down here. So what ended up happening is holding this from going all the way back. And then there's too much of a gap here. So we'll go ahead and trim up the bottoms here, get these things painted, mount the courtesy light, and we should be good. See you next one. All right, and now we're back. So now we've actually got this side of the trunk completed. So we'll take a quick little glance over that. We got this little tab thing. We just got to get that bent out of the way. We also mounted this piece way up here on the top, so we'll just have to get that in the right set. And then this side's all completed. So what the goal is for today, we'll go ahead and carpet this side to match what we got over here. We're going to be painting these edges there, and then these two to match the interior. And then what we'll do is start to wire it up. And then once everything's dried, we're gonna go ahead and put this thing back in for a really kind of final installation. And then the last thing too is we got this pin that will ground out the wiring. I think what we might do is look at mounting it down here, because we've got a couple of, I'll bring us all the way around here. Got a couple of mounting screws here, but if we mount it down here, when the trunk lid comes through, let's see if I can move this thing in the way. As the trunk comes through here, then it'll hit the pin, and then as the trunk opens, it'll ground it out and turn the lights on. All right, there we go. Let's see it next time. All right, made some more progress here. I want to kind of show you how it all came together. So here we got the sides. This is actually the same kind of dome light, courtesy light that goes on the inside. We got this parts all carpeted. We filled in the gap up there. Comes around. There, we've got the side over here. And if I can zoom in here, if you look, there's actually a texture that we put on the sides here. If I can hold it for just a second. I don't know if it's gonna come out clear. But we've got that with the dome light. And then it turns. And we've got this. Let's see if I can come in this way, show you how back here, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but this part is all got the texture in it as well. But then it comes down to the carpet. We've just got to make a piece right here that kind of covers this up. That's how we got it. Coming together. Now, this thing folds over and then comes on up, just like that. We've got this all space filled up so that we can do put a bunch of parts when we travel or any kind of storage that we need. But it'll come right in. Look at this gap. Look at that. Perfect. Came together. And let's see if I can see this too. When this thing pulls up, if you see it actually comes up and then comes over. And then it comes down, it goes over, and then it folds right in. Looks good there. And then the piano hitch comes on down. Here's some of the things too. What we did was we added these like little plastic bumpers, little 3M things, so that as this thing comes over, it's not going to scratch. Just like that. Outstanding. That's how it came together. All right, we're coming up on the end here, and this is kind of my last part of part 1 that I wanted to show you as we're kind of going through this thing. So I'll show you kind of the final parts for part 1 here and give you an example of at this point. All right, now here's the first thing. I guess what we'll do is show you is so what I did was I hooked it up so that once you hit the parking lights on, and then as this thing opens up, you'll see that the dome lights are on. I should probably do one at night, but basically, here's the switch. See how it's off? And it comes on. So here, let's actually do kind of a fun thing real quick. Let's see if this works. Aha, how fun is that? All right, so we got those dome lights hooked up, and then we've got all this stuff done. So what I did was I also built this little piece here that'll make it. Now, what I still need to do is build a little piece here that'll clean this part up. So again, some of the tinkering stuff that we've still got to do here in the future. But what I also did was, if we open this thing up, I'll show you some of the storage capacity that we've got here. So we've got, you know, this is just the thing that goes on the fenders. We've got some spare parts, got the filler, got the jumper cables, the belts. You know, basically, I've just thrown some of the stuff in there, but we've still got some more room in here for some of the other tools, you know, or even down back here. You know, we could probably still fit the jack, you know, if we need to, but basically, that gives you kind of a good idea of how it has all come together. So again, hope you enjoyed what we did here. I'll keep you posted as we're kind of running through some of the clean